In this video, we are going to show you how to solve an absolute value equation. Now, in any absolute value equation, what you need to do is try to isolate your absolute value. So sometimes it could be adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. In this case, we have multiplying and addition with that absolute value. So we're going to first start by subtracting 8 to get this absolute value term alone. So you have 9 times the absolute value of x plus 9 is equal to 72. And then you're going to divide by 9 on both sides, because what that does, that cancels out those 9s. And so now we have this absolute value of x plus 9 is equal to 8. This is now isolated. You have your absolute value alone. And where we go from here is that you actually have to turn this into two separate equations. What we must remember is that the absolute value of 8, of course, is equal to 8, but the absolute value of negative 8 is also equal to 8. So there's two possible answers for this, and so we kind of break it up into two separate steps. You say that x plus 9 could either equal 8 or that x plus 9 could equal a negative 8. If that stuff inside, whatever this is equal to those two values. So that's how we get two answers out of this. You don't change the values on the inside. This is still a positive, and that's positive. You do get rid of the absolute values in this step. When you turn it into two separate equations, there's no longer absolute value bars around the x plus 9, because that's how we're undoing. We're using this concept above to understand why you have two separate answers. I think a lot of students struggle with that, so that's why I spent some time trying to discuss it, because after that, all you have to do is just subtract 9, and so you have x equals a negative 1, and you subtract 9 again from this other equation, but x equals a negative 17. So your answers are x equals negative 1 and a negative 17. So they're not always opposites of each other. I mean, both of these are negatives. They're not always going to be just like a 1 and a negative 1. You have to actually go through the work of solving to set that inside part equal to what the absolute value is equal to after you isolate.